We are just mere weeks away from the official TCG release of the newest core set, Chaos Origin, which will be the start of a brand new era for the competitive Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. Excuse me. However, before we get to its official release, there are still plenty, of new cards to talk about for that set, including a new archetype that resembles chess pieces. What the fuck is that all about? Well, introducing a brand new archetype known as the Angelechy archetype. Now, for those now because that this is a brand new archetype, allow me to explain. This is a synchro based archetype that resembles pieces of a chessboard supposedly, and apparently and apparently this is a fairy based archetype that can work with pretty much any fairy based deck in the format, and I don't really think there are excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. I really don't think that there are any fairy decks in the format right now. I could be wrong. I don't think there are. I really don't. But I believe there are 3, 4, 5, 7. Yes, there are 7 new cards. 7 new cards to talk about in this video, and they are all synchros and back rows. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to get straight into it because we could be looking at a format where this archetype might just end up breaking the meta. Possible? Absolutely. Is it really going to happen? Let's find out. So we're going to kick things off with Angelechy Shatranga? I'm probably butchering the name. I'm like butchering the names right now, so I do apologize. Excuse me. But here is that card. The other synchro monster in this photo is Angelechy Bastion. And the final one of this photo is Angelechy Destroyer. So the first one, Shatranga, is a 10-star light fairy synchro with 3,000 attack, 0 defense, and acquires a tuner and 1 or more non-tuner. So pretty generic. And the effects read as follow: you can target one monster your opponent controls, banish it. If this card is placed in the spell trap zone as a continuous spell, you can add one Angelechy trap from your deck or grave to your hand. You can only use each of the preceding effects of this card once per turn. While this card is treated as a continuous spell, your opponent can only attempt to activate up to 5 monster effects per turn. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Floodgate much? It's literally these are literally floodgates. Enough said. Just enough said. I mean you get to banish one of your opponent's cards, and if it gets placed into the back row as a continuous spell, not only do you get to add a trap from your deck to your hand, but your opponent can only activate 5 monster effects per turn, or at least attempt to anyway, which is kind of insane. So going up against a deck like, let's say say Clown Crew Mitsurugi, that right there is a game changer. Being able to just completely stop your opponent from just comboing off to an end board of like 10, 15 negates. That's insane. High key, that is in fucking insane. Not much to say about it, honestly. Wow. Excuse me. Excuse me. In a way, it kind of reminds me of the continuous trap summon limit where both you and your opponent can only summon twice in a turn, which even that alone is just insane. So that's what this card reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of that, but better. Bastion is an 8-star Life Fairy Synchro with 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. Literally the same level, attribute, and attack and defense stats of a Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is funny. It requires a tuner and one or more non-tuners. The effects read as follows. You can target one other monster in this card's column, banish it. If this card is placed in the spell and trap zone as a continuous spell, you can place one Angelechy Shatranga from your X check in your spell and trap zone as a face-up continuous spell. You can only use each of the preceding effects once per turn. While this card is treated as a continuous spell, other Angelechy cards on the field cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Literally, this protects. This can protect from pretty much every single back row removal card in existence, with the exception of Cosmic Cyclone, because Cosmic Cyclone banishes, which is fine, but there are so many ways that they can bring it back from the banish pile. Excuse me, to either your grave, to your hand, or your deck. So it's like, whatever. But Harpy's Feather Duster, Lightning Storm, MST, all these different back row pop cards that are in the format. This card protects from those cards, which is insane. This is basically your. I want to say that this is a weird version of Skill Drain for back row removal, which is not bad. I mean, even by the standards of, let's say, Edison format, this archetype would be a nasty deck to go up against. Like, there really wouldn't be any deck in the format for Edison that could completely destroy this archetype. There really isn't. But by modern standards, I really don't think there is. But you never know. You never know. This card is absolutely loaded. Let's see here. Destrier is a 7-star Light Fairy Synchro with 2,500 attack, 2,000 defense. Excuse me, and requires a tuner and one or more non-tuners. The effects read as follow. You can target one other monster in this card's column, banish it. If this card is placed in the spell and trap zone as a continuous spell, you can add one Angelechy spell from your deck to your hand, and the effects are once per turn. While this card is treated as a continuous spell, each time your opponent activates a card or effect, inflict 500 damage to your opponent when it resolves. Oh my god. Okay, so there's a card, and I actually got it graded. Give me a second. I actually got the card graded last year over the summer, and I never got the and I've been waiting, and I've been trying to sell it for a while now, but never really could find anybody to buy it. I don't know why. I really don't. But the card that I got, one of the cards that I got graded out of the two, was this: Ghost Rare, Unlim, Clash of Rebellion, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, and yes, unfortunately, it did get a PSA 7, which is a bit unfortunate. But then again, I mean, it's a Ghost Rare, so even I knew that it was never gonna get a PSA 8 or a PSA 9. Um, but but check this out, right? The effects of Flare Metal reads as follow: cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has Exceeds material. While this card has Exceeds material, each time your opponent activates a card or effect, inflict 500 damage to your opponent immediately after it resolves. Once returned during either player's turn, you can detach a material from this card, then target a red as normal monster in your grave and special summon it. So the second effect, while this card has Exceeds material, each time your opponent activates a card or effect, inflict 500 damage after it resolves. This card, Destrier, literally is Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon as a continuous spell, which is crazy. It's another floodgate that a lot of people really don't. That a lot of people are probably gonna sleep on, because they really don't see that kind of effect as a threat. Now, if it was something like say Blackwing the Salt Dragon, that's one that right there is a whole nother story, because anytime, oh my god, I think the effect is anytime your opponent activates the monster effect, they get dealt 700 damage. And if you would have, let's say, 3 copies on board, your opponent basically takes 2100 damage. That right there is a massive threat. And for those who are curious, the other card that I chose to get graded was this: Secret Rare Unlim, Tactical Evolution, Elemental Hero Magma Neos. This one also came back as a PSA 7, and if I remember right, this is still, I believe, is still a Pop 1, if I'm not mistaken. I actually want to scan the QR code really quickly, because I believe it is still a Pop 1. Yes, it is. This is the only PSA 7 in existence, and I have yet to sell it. I've been meaning to sell it for a while. Personally, I really don't know how much I want to sell it for, because again, it's PSA 7. So I would probably have to go by I would have to go by TCG player prices of the card raw. So I actually want to do that right now. Neos. So Tactical Evolution. Sadly, it is LP, unfortunately, and it is Unlim. So apparently, according to TCG Player, there's someone here who is selling this card the exact same Unlim LP copy for $500. Now I really don't know. I don't know if that's exactly accurate. If that's the accurate price. But apparently, a first edition copy goes for around goes for around 180 bucks. So Unlim, I would probably say that this would be around 100 to 120 bucks, I'd say. So if that were to be the case, I could probably sell this for like, I would probably say around 300 to about like somewhere between 3 to 800, I'd say. At least that's how I would perceive it. I don't know about you guys. As far as Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon goes, I believe. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the Ghost Rare. Here we are. So Unlim goes for around 50 bucks. Let's see. LP Unlim. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So Unlim goes for around 50 to about 100 bucks, and as a PSA 7, I could probably sell it for like 200 bucks, 300 bucks maybe. That's not bad. That honestly is not too bad. Not too bad. But obviously, if you guys think I'm wrong, you guys can let me know down in the comments below. But as far as Dystria goes, it's basically Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon as a continuous spell, which is kind of insane. Kind of insane. Next up, we've got Angelechy Enlisted. That is if the photo will load. Compliment of YG organization, which is kind of really shitty. Here we go. Wait for it. There we go. And it is a 2-star Light Fairy Synchro tuner with 1500 attack and defense, and requires a tuner and 1 non-tuner. The effects read as followed. You can target one opponent's monster in this card's adjacent column, banish it. Then change control of this card by moving into one of your opponent's main monster zones in this card's adjacent columns. If the control of this card of this face-up card changes, return this card to the extra deck, then the owner of this card special summons one Angelechy monster from their extra deck. Can only use each effect once per turn. This is literally an easy way to bring out Angelechy Destrier right off the bat. You can even also go into Bastion and then activate some card to bounce it to the back row, and then just combo off from there. Essentially, Enlisted is essentially your combo starter for this deck, which is kind of crazy. Not much to say about it. Next up, we've got Angelechy Problem. And in a way, the artwork of this field spell, it kind of reminds me of a combination of Sword Art Online with oh my god, what's that one anime? Oh my god, it's that weird ass anime where the protagonist ends up acquiring a power to steal items from people, only for him to steal women's underwear. I can't think of the name. Cannot think of the name. Oh, Konosuba. it kind of reminds me of a combination of both. Really weird, really weird. It's a trust me. If you guys have not seen Konosuba, it's funny. It's a funny anime, but it's super weird. It is super weird. But anyway, problem is a field spell with the effects reading as followed. Once per turn, you can discard one spell or trap, special summon one level 2 Angelechy monster from your extra deck, and if you do, place one Angelechy monster from your extra deck to your spell trap zone as a face-up continuous spell. If a face-up Angelechy monster card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can return one Angelechy monster card you own from your spell trap zone to the extra deck, then you can special summon it. I mean, come on. Bringing out Shatranga right off the bat? Kind of crazy. Next up, we've got Angelechy Disturbance. Which is a normal trap with the effects reading as follows. Excuse me. Give control of one Angelechy monster you control to your opponent until the end phase. Then, if your opponent controls a face-up card in its adjacent monster zones and or spell and trap zone, their effects are negated. You can banish this card from your grave. One Angelechy spell trap you from your. Add one Angelechy spell or trap from your deck to your hand, except this card. Can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so it's basically creature swap with a spell trap Rhoda. I mean, not too shabby. It's not too shabby. I mean, it's weird. It's weird because if you it's weird because you really don't want to give your opponent any cards, but as long as you have a way to bounce it back to your extra deck, it's not bad. It's not too bad. I mean, to be fair, we could be looking at Disturbance as a sleeper card, which means that it might not be good to some, but to a lot of the pro players, it could be cracked. Possible? Absolutely. Now for the final card of the video, and it is known as Angelechy Opening to E4. Which is a normal trap, and the effects read as follows. If your opponent goes first, you can also activate this card from your hand during the standby phase of their first turn. Place one Angelechy field spell from your deck, from your hand, deck, or grave face up on your field. And if you do, special summon one level 2 or 7 Angelechy monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. And if you do, place one Angelechy monster from your extra deck in your spell and trap zone as a face-up continuous spell. Until the end of your next turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except for synchros. Oh my god. Yeah, this is basically this basically is being turned into an FTK. Yeah, reading the first sentence. If your opponent goes first, you can also activate this card from your hand during the standby phase of their first turn. Yeah, Not gonna lie, that's pretty broken. And yeah, I think this archetype definitely is gonna be turning a lot of heads, which means that this deck is going to probably be one of, if not the most broken deck in the format, literally breaking the entire meta. Oh my god. Yeah. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Enough said. You're basically ensuring that your end board turn 0 is going to be literally, it's going to be the field spell on board plus plus Destrier, Bastion, and Shatranga in your back row, plus a bunch of other shit in the front lines, and with at least 2, maybe 3 hand traps, hand traps at best. Being it could be Ash plus Bell and Droll, or it could be Droll plus Ash and Valor. It could also be Dominus Impulse for all we know. All I know is that this archetype is definitely going to completely destroy the meta. But if you guys think that I am wrong, you guys can always rebuttal in the comments below. And that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.